Oh, I'm live.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
How is everybody doing? We're gonna need to do an audio test. I'm getting echoes. So I'll need your feedback because we've got all sorts of new high-tech stuff. All right. Let's see. All right.
Okay, so what about now? How is this sounding? Can you guys hear me at all? Can you hear me? Can I what? You can hear me? You can. All right. Yeah, no, I saw you guys talking about me possibly doing my nails. Finish up with his stream. I didn't want to, I didn't want to overlap and causes. So let's see here. I just want to make sure. Let's see. Are we getting any feedback? Do you guys hear any problems, or can you hear me okay and everything? I can't hear myself right now, but that's fine. I mean, I can hear myself talking in real life. But let's see. Looking and sounding good. Okay, awesome, cool. This is the first time I've used this setup. I'll show you guys what I'm working on, what I'm working with, what you guys allowed me to do, basically, because of your kindness and support and memberships and Patreon and super chats and all that stuff. I just cannot, I can just not tell you guys how grateful I am and how happy I am that we're getting it all sorted out and that we're getting at a place where now we can start doing some fun things with the channel. And so we've got it set up right now so that the microphone is set up, and during these live streams we can do audio and video. Let me get this going back in. All right, there we go. Okay, so we can do audio and video. And y'all can, I'm going to set up a desk somewhere, and that'll be my stationary desk. But I figured I'd show you guys where I so that you guys can see me and you. Ooh. There's a lag between my lip movement. Okay, we'll work with this. I'm noticing I'm almost to the point now where I need to just be doing one of these. The mustache thing. Oh dear, I'm one of those guys. All right, so let me try. Let me show you guys what I'm working with here. Stop. Now wiggle with it. Stop. Okay, so I've got a laptop 4K hooked up camera here. I also can do webcam here. Hi. And then I can do let's see here. I can also do this and show you guys my my screen. So we've got all that laid out, and then right now let's get back to mode. All right, so we're gonna mute this.
All right, can you guys hear me right now? I don't actually need headphones for this, if you guys can hear me. All right, so, and I think now we'll find out in a moment here, watch. And thanks for bearing with me, guys, because I wanted to see how all this went. By the way, today is not brought to you by Dr. Pepper, but I wish it was. Okay, so let's go back to this can be the solo show. Do. All right, so we can go on the move again. My hand's, of course, covering the lens right now. Hold on. We'll get situated. I just wanted to show you guys what we've got going on capability wise, and I feel like you guys owe I feel like you guys are owed knowing what we have now, what the channel's been able to purchase, and what I've done with y'all money. So can you guys hear me okay here when I'm on mobile? Now, I'm assuming that the stream quality might still be compressed, so it may not be 4K, in that the internet from the house just probably won't be. But this is what we've got going on. So we've got the ring light, which now we can illuminate wherever, which is great. And then we've also got this new mic I really love, but it's not being used right this second. I'm using a lav mic that's attached to my phone right now. And so that's just a little portable lavalier mic that also serves as a shotgun mic. So now I can roam around, hopefully, and or return back there. But now we can go to the fish room. We can go wherever our hearts desire. And we should be good to go. I hope. So if you guys have a question tonight, please just drop the @SecretHistoryLivingInYourAquarium or @AlexWilliamson. What are you doing? Crazy fishes. So yeah, that's what we've got going on. It's so good to see everybody. Glad that we've got the technicalities sorted out. Let's see here. Can we switch this around also? Yeah, I think we can. Oh, right, we have to go to the other mode in order to do that. But that's the most important last test we need to do, which is, are we able to switch this around and do bada bing, bada boom. We did it. We got it. We're good. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you bearing with me for the beginning there. So now the channel is, we're able to do, I can show you guys my whole fish room. I can go outside, hopefully. I also paid and had some better internet. It's like the highest internet quality that it can be locally, upgraded, put in. So who knows how much that will help things. But between that new router and that is great. And then also the other thing I wanted to show you guys, and then we'll pop back in, check on the animals. And tonight's really about you guys. Tonight is really about, I want you guys to let me know what you want to learn, what you want to hear about, all that stuff. And if you have any problems or troubles to shoot, as it were. So, oh, this isn't very good lighting in here right now. I guess we'll bring it over to the ring light. Okay, so this is we got a GoPro with a chest mount, thanks to a viewer. So thank you so much. But then, yeah, so we've got all this other gear. We've got a backup mic for guests. So basically, I just decided to reinvest everything back into the channel. So I hope that's good. I hope that it works out well and you guys are excited and it looks good and all that. Hopefully for the long, yes, it started with 2 betas is the person to thank here. So thank you so much for that GoPro. But hopefully we'll have some in-shot or some in-tank shots also coming up soon. And then hopefully we'll also have more footage from when we're on site when I'm out collecting fish, which like tomorrow morning, I'm hoping to go collect some more native fish. So that's kind of what's going on right now here. I was going to just show you guys this tank just because it's going so crazy. The Limnophilia aromatica looks so good. And so does the little fish hanging out in there. These are the Hawaiian gobies, which on Lucas's stream we were talking about. But these little orange and turquoise-headed gobies here, they're not completely native to Hawaii. We don't know when they came, but it's essentially found all throughout the South Pacific and a lot of the Pacific Islands. And this cute little goby, let's see if we've got another one on the glass, maybe that we can look at clear. That one kind of just went back into the tangle. But in any case, they can climb up waterfalls and up the glass of the aquarium. There's another one right here too. The other one went a little farther back though. So yeah, but somebody had asked on Lucas's about what the Hawaiian native gobies look like. And there are 6 species of gobies in Hawaii, or of freshwater fish, I should say. And there are, I think, 3 are endemic, meaning they only happen to occur in Hawaii and nowhere else. And then the others are, there's like a lamprey type fish, there's like a little cichlid type fish, and a little sculpin type fish. And then the other 3 are all types of these gobies that can climb up cliffs, essentially. So yeah. But it's so good to see everybody in here tonight. We've got lots of folks in here. We've got Danikin, who also I need to give a huge shout out to Kenny E and Danny for definitely doing me a solid, and they decided they're not doing Friday nights at 7:30 anymore. So somewhere between 7:30, 7:45-ish, whenever Lucas is done essentially with his stream, give or take. I guess sometimes I might start a little earlier if he's going long, who knows. But for the most part, I'll probably try to roll back to back. So I'll be going right around 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, 10:30 p.m. I guess that would be what, East Coast time? Yes, East Coast time. And in Britain, that would be 5 in the morning, something like that. Wait, 4 in the morning. So have fun with that, Britain. All right. So other than that, I have to show off this. This male is just, he's gone bonkers. He's such a fancy boy. I guess you can't really see it super well, but he's got all this beautiful iridescence to him and the lace and all that. And he's a iron topaz lace guppy. And then the other thing I wanted to show you guys was the native hybrid plant rare, which is my Ludwigia exlacustris. And if we clear out some of the stuff that's blocking out light above it, you can get a look at this plant. And it's just a really cool plant found. It's found in a lake in Rhode Island, but it's also been found in several lakes in Appalachia. It's a really cool one when you look at it from above. It kind of looks like a ninja star spiraling around in circles, and it comes out of the water. It'll grow just like this. It starts to get a little bit thicker again in the leaves. And you can also see some of my other plants. I'm allowing them to come up and out again as well as these Rotala's here. Need to get some of the duckweed out of here, but honestly, it's probably just stopping the algae from growing, in that there's a little teeny bit of algae, but it's all connecting via the duckweed. So, and then it's also cutting down on the intensity because of the light. Because you see how this is, sure, yeah, it's pretty, it's pink and bronze. Well, this plant here, without CO2, looks like this. And I think it's much prettier in this form with higher nitrates and low CO2 in this one with the white variegation or veins. Variegation just means lines, essentially. And, oh, I also got a new little cave for the critters in here to see if anybody wants to give this a go, because my some of my fish have been showing off that they're ready to be spawning. And so, yeah. But so thanks again, Danikin. Also, here is that, well, there it was. Now it's gone. End of show. That was the transvestitis. And here it is, the other one. There's a male and a female in here, and they are Nanochromis, and they're one of my favorite little fish. I just love Nanochromis in general. But they're hanging out in here, and they've been showing off like they're going to spawn. See, they're paired off together and hanging out close, showing kind of aggression, kind of not. Now, this is what's cool about them is that the female actually has all the color, unlike most cichlids. So the male here is the boring one, even though still not that boring. And then the female has all the color. So kind of cool. Also, just thought I'd show you guys that there's a couple other rare plants before we get into any deep questions, philosophical quandaries. We've got this Nicaea golden unnamed Nicaea plant, and its stem is turning red now that we've got the CO2 on it. And so that's kind of interesting. Hadn't seen that happen because I've only seen it look like this. And then we also have the Tonina, which is an ADA plant from a tissue culture originally. So that's been an interesting one. And then just to show you guys the variations here, and look at how calm these cichlids are. Like that's my finger, like an inch and a half from the transvestitis nanochromis. So they're very relaxed. It's a little worked up right now because they're just chasing each other. But everybody in here is pretty laid back because they've got so much cover. Even the sparkling gouramis I can touch. Now I don't want to mess up their slime coats, but again, here's that Hawaiian goby, which is a Stiphodon anniae, and it's named after the wife of the guy who discovered it out in the Pacific. And her name happens to be Annie, so Annie. Now, some of these plants are getting insane, and you can see the white stems. So these white stems here, or roots, I should say, these are not tap roots. A lot of times, and I've seen in a lot of videos, big name people keep for some reason calling these tap roots. These aren't tap roots. These are feeder roots, and or they cling on to things. Now, taproot is the one singular large root that would follow, say, this plant down in, and you would see that it goes straight down and maybe kind of looks like a lightning bolt in that it's got one main path, a couple little branches, but the bulk of its energy is to anchor it. Whereas these, the whole point of these roots here, of these little, what are they called? Like, they're not sapling, but they're like sucker roots, essentially. Each little node is a spot on the plant where you could trim it, and you'd have undifferentiated cells, and you could then have an entire new plant to plant at each node. So you can also cut this. I can cut this in half and have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 12 plants ready to go in about 5 inches of length here, just because I've let it grow up and sideways. And also you can see here that it's actually started to grow up like that. Oh, awesome. I see that we have our first participation with capitalism for the evening. Nano Aquarium guy has joined the membership. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Membership, again, you guys, it just highlights your questions, lets me see that you guys are asking things a lot easier when we're on the live stream. And then it also, yeah, it gives you some silly badges and stuff that we can play with and pictures. But really what it does is it gives you more access to anything that I'm posting online that maybe I didn't have the full rights to, so I can share, you know, openly, but not, I can't publish it essentially. So I can share a link to something, or if I find a really good deal or coupon that I don't want to tell the entire world about, like for instance, that huge sale on rocks that was going on for a while, where people were announcing that Lowe's was selling all that incredible aquascaping stone. He's chasing water going down the glass. Aquascaping stone. I wouldn't have wanted to announce that. I would have wanted to tell only a handful of people. And so that under the community tab is something that I can do there. And then most of all, what the plan is for that, for members, other than just saying you want to support the channel and encourage other folks getting to learn about fish and cool aquatic stuff and plants and science and all that. It's mostly just saying that also you would like access to any of the research that I'm finding or any research I'm doing. So if I'm documenting some project on my own, like for instance, hopefully for aquatic arts, I want to be testing their tannins. So they're going to get all these new tannin products in, and then I'll be able to have, you know, a jar or an aquarium and put 2 leaves of this type, 2 leaves of this type, a pod of this, another leaf of this kind, and then hopefully, you know, that works out. But House in the Valley, yeah, thank you so much. I'm glad that you did the learning on this channel. Now, I have come to a crossroads, and I may have to decide. Also, by the way, my little lemon bristlenose plecos, they're getting pretty good size, considering Mama is yay big. She's probably 4.5, 5 inches. Also, the other leopard frog plecos, for some reason, they're all hanging out in the bulbitis today. There's all of them are in there right now. And then, but yeah, all these little plecos, they're doing well, getting bigger. And the ones in here have stayed straight up banana yellow all the way to like an orange. That's real redundant speaking there, Alex. So sorry, guys. But yeah. Also, because everyone asks every video that I ever show these, this is called verticillata, hydrocotyle verticillata. And yet again, this is that native plant found in Rhode Island and Appalachia, Ludwigia X, which just means crossed with or hybridized with lacustris. And it can get really pink and metallic and shiny and bronzy, or under lower condition, lower light, lower nitrate, or I mean higher nitrate, lower light conditions. Sorry, guys. It can also be darker, like greens, all the way down to bronze and forest green and stuff like that. So yes. All right. So moving on, what else do we have going on, folks? What would you guys like to see, hear, learn about, do, so on and so forth? What would you like the night to hold as the first Friday live stream that we've got going on? Hey, Chubby Guppy. And also, hopefully I'm seeing your comments and things, but if for some reason I missed something, everybody just yell at me, and hopefully it'll show up in stream. I'm sorry, the camera's gonna flip. Sorry, gimbal went nuts. All right. Hey, Preston John, good to see you, buddy. Pompeii Ranch, good to see you. Can I recommend good places to order fish from? Yes. Obviously, my #1 place is Aquatic Arts. That's where I've gotten most of my fish from. Probably my second favorite place would be redfishbluefish.shop. And my third favorite place would probably be the Wet Spot. Kind of tied with the Wet Spot and redfishbluefish.shop, or the Wetfish Tropical fish.com, which I know those are all long names, but those are all 3 good sources. One is owned by my buddy Jason and is European imported high-end fish that you really don't find in this country. So he brought in like these just fish that nobody would normally bring in. Like, it just doesn't make sense for most companies to bring them in, or they don't have the clientele that would buy them, and he dares to bring them in, which is really, really cool. Also, now these little, look at all these little Hawaiian Anie Stiphodons are clowning around and showing off right in front for everybody. So it's good that they came out. But yeah, so let's see here. 40 Years Fish, how's it going? Good to see you. Trying to do water changes and not flood everything. I know how that goes. I'd like to see people smash that like button. Well, thank you so much, Danikin Aquatics, Kenny, and Danny. Thank you for the $5 super chat. That is much appreciated. As you saw, I have things I'm doing with it. I have plans with, you know, what I want to do with some money for the channel. The other thing is I would like to get more CO2 running in here. Need to get another humidifier. I mean, there's just there's always things to do. Of course, food and utilities and stuff for the fish, as well as medications and all that sort of stuff adds up too. But you know, there's just so many cool things that I want to do, and even upgrading the microscope and stuff like that for the channel, so we can play again with that. I want to look at some of the local bog water, and I said bog. Get your mind out of the you stoners, if you thought I said something else. But yes, so we'll look at some bog water, get the water parameters of some native areas where I've been fishing and things like that. Oh, thank you so much, Eve. I really appreciate it. Cool capital upgrades. Thank you so much, so much, so much. And also, let's see here. I'm having issues finding really black nano fish other than guppies. Any good suggestions? Guppies and bettas. That is a great question. Let me think on that one for a sec too. Chubby Guppy, thank you so much for the $4.99 sticker. I truly appreciate it. You know, Chubby Guppy, you know, Tim, you got some of the coolest stuff as far as tech in your own fish room. So I definitely need to figure out that setup the way you've got it. Because what I'd love to be able to do is to set up a desk. And oh, by the way, I have to show you this, Kenny. So these are some lovely albino. They're not actually albino. They're leucistic, but they're listed as albino. Double red cockatoides, and they are shredded. You can see that their fins turn, buddy. Their fins just got shredded. They're real stressed out, not doing well. They're not happy at all. Well, what happened? Why are they in this predicament? Why are they not doing happy, joy? Well, it's because this tank here, this guy has been hiding, and I knew these ones were around, but the big one literally was hiding. And now that I know that there's a big fella out that's kind of the tank boss, there's actually kind of two tank bosses, but there is an extra fish from what I thought I had counted, the 6 I thought. There's actually 7 in there. And this one here is real mean, and literally it went from everybody was okay to these guys started showing off some red in the mornings and when they eat, and now these Turkana jewel cichlids are mean. And so I knew I'd have to split them up, but the day came. I knew you know, they were together in that 20 long, and then now these guys are alone again up in the 20 long. So one day of getting beat up, hopefully they'll be okay. They've got caves and things. They're in with some pretty chill fish, young angel fish, which talk about black dark fish. There's a good one. But you know, I was thinking about other dark black fish, and there is the I can't think of the exact word. It's like pung nai or something along those lines. And then there's a common name too. But there's a type of coolie loach that is actually all black. It's like grayish black, and you can get those. So that's another one. You could get like a fire eel, which has a lot of black on it, but also has a yellow and orange stripe down the side. There are gobies and guppies that also are predominantly black. They're kind of hard to find, though, in the hobby because they're not super desired. Now, this is a female cobalt guppy that happens to have a black line down her side, and so she looks kind of dark, but she's not that dark. I mean, they just look that way from certain angles because they're so skinny. Mollies are another one. Platies, you can get those very, very dark as well, or swordtails. Any live bear, obviously, you can probably find. Other than that, a black ghost knife, not a nano fish, but that is one of the darkest black fish that you'll find as well. I'm trying to think, though, any other real dark ones. RB Animal Rescue, thank you so much for the 99-cent sticker. I really do appreciate it. I do. I was going to show you guys just kind of a few more things in here, and then we can go back and sit down and have coffee talk and see what else is going down. In the cold water tank, these Miyuki, which just means blue in Japanese, is $99, a good deal on a 55-gallon. If it wasn't on sale, probably, yeah, it's probably a pretty good deal if it's a sturdy, new, good tank, clean, real clean and everything. I think I got mine. I actually waited for the half off sale at Petco, and it didn't matter. It worked all the way up to 100-gallon tanks. They let me apply it, and so I think it was. I want to say it was $75 or something like that for the 55-gallon. But these Miyuki rice fish are just my favorite. I have yet to see them have eggs in the morning, and that's odd. But maybe they're just late bloomers, or maybe they're just not. Maybe they're getting rid of them quickly. Also, least killifish. If you're in the Northwest and you want some least killifish, I now have enough that I can part with them easily. We've got a big old pregnant female over here. They're a really cool live bear, and they're the smallest live bear in the world. They're actually one of the smallest fish in the world as a full-grown fish, too. They're similar to like a little amber barb or a carplet. And you can see here, these are native to southern Florida and actually a lot of the South, and then into the Southwest and Texas and things as well. But now they're even being found, I mean, you name it, they're being found in Oregon, Washington, Minnesota, Illinois, New Jersey, New York. Least killifish are kind of showing up. They're like gambusia, which are known as mosquito fish, in that they've just become pretty popular. They've become common. There's my scarlet hybrids are back in here right now. There's a group, a trio I'm trying out to see if I can diffuse the aggression. Since I told you guys that I hybridized some of them now. Some of oh wait, where did it go? Some of the Scarlet Batis with the Myanmar Batis. And then also we've got the beautiful, these were from, oh, thank you so much, Alan, for the super sticker. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Everything is very much appreciated. Thank you. Let's see here. Why won't this focus on them? Maybe will my finger get it to focus? No. All right, we'll have to get a camera that focuses. I get 4K cameras and none of them focus right. This is my cell phone right now that I'm using. But these are the cheetah, the purple or blue cheetah caradinas, and they look pretty healthy. They look good. And then they're with my malawas that are the blue malawas, the line that I've selected to be blue. Also over here, we've got my my bettas that I just got from Aquatic Arts not long ago. And they actually had a bubble nest, and it was full of eggs 2 days ago, and then it completely disappeared. I have no idea what caused it to disappear, if Dad decided to eat them all, or if they hatched and they're out somewhere in this tangle. But I'm just going to ease off, let them do their thing. There's a billion shrimp in here that they can eat, and so that should be no problem. All right, and then over here, the heat really did take a toll on some of my shrimp. One odd thing, the heat, I think, may have triggered, oddly enough, a spawning condition in a few of the males of my panda loaches. These loaches haven't grown in size in a good year or two, yet all of a sudden with that heat, when I was really worried about them and they were all hanging out at the top and just kind of gasping, and they need a lot of airflow and they usually want about 70-degree water. Well, now the males, there's 2 of them that are just giant. Like, they've swelled to double the size. See that one center? Double the size of the other ones. Here's the other big male up here. And yeah, their patterns are still nice and bold and dark and everything, but just super interesting. The crystal reds or pure red lines still doing well, and all the blue neocaradinas did lose a couple to the heat, but nothing major, just a few. And then over here we've got all the higher end. Let's get something to poke and prod them with, because that's what being a fish keeper is about, poking and prodding. So here we have some more of the caradina shrimp that you can see. We've got the King Kongs, and then the red wines, and the pintos, and the herringbone or fishbone, whatever you want to call them. So those are doing well. Also, the blue phantom pleco doing well. Then I'm going to jump in and get your questions, but I saw a few people asking how things were doing. Also, the red and orange. So there's an orange Corridora aeneas that is from the Orinoco River, and there's the Corridora venezuelaeus, which is the orange and black kind that we've had for a couple years that you've seen in my tanks. But then there's also one called the red or red laser or red saddle aeneas, which there's some of those in here too. And also the Gertrude rainbow fish have all grown up, and they have their white finnage, which is great. The heat actually the last week has really just fired them up. And so I'm sure they've laid a ton of eggs in all this hornwort up here. Also, we've got all the golden wrestling half beaks up here doing their thing. And yeah, they're doing really good. The baby sunfish, they're still in this tank with the blue Miyuki rice fish. They're in that rock stack right there. And I don't really see them. I'm thinking I might change things up again. The scarlet batis, as I said, are spawning, but the sunfish, the pygmy sunfish, haven't ever. They've produced 1 or 2 babies total. Michelle, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. Thank you. $4. So out here, I've got a 45-gallon tote. Then we've got 15, 15, 15, 10, 20 gallon totes and a 20 long aquarium. I added some albino paradise fish females to the male paradise fish that's in there. And yeah, also the sparkling gourami babies that I had in that super densely densely planted aquarium out front. They've grown up. It's only taken them 4 months from itty bitty eyelash size fry to get to full grown, mature. Now they're able to reproduce, but they're just chilling, hanging out somewhere in this mess. And as are my rams, and also the swordtails. So let me see if we can find the rams, because the rams were looking pretty good too. They're the balloon rams that I rescued, quote unquote. I mean, they look so poor off. But here's that female swordtail. And in the right light, you can see the live bear. Since she's a live bear, you can see the babies in her. And here's the male. Or actually, what are these? Platies or swordtails? I don't even remember now. But come on. Where are the balloon rams? Come on, I see them. Come out. You can come out and be our friends, guys. Here they come. I still need to get a good video of them on their own, because they are quite pretty fish. They're not just like normal German blue rams. They're actually, and here come more of the sparkling gouramis that were babies. So in any case, I don't know. Maybe we won't get a good shot of them right now, but they have a nice purple color and like tiger stripes to them, which is cool. Then also up here, we have a whole bunch of these killifish too, that were babies, and now they're kind of mid-age. There's a few in here. Don't know how they got in there, but they do that, even though they're live bears. And in here, I'm just trying out pond water from the local pond. I'm trying to let it acclimate to the room temperature in this fish room, and then because it's not as cold, as the pond naturally is out in our neighborhood, out in this part of the nation. It definitely had a bad bacteria and algae bloom, just the difference, the change. So I'm letting it kind of re-equilibrate, and then I want to try putting some fish in there. But it's still a little cloudy, and there's no filters or anything in any of that. These are all filterless. And again, we've got my blue panda guppies in there. We've got my wild strain of koi Nemo guppies is what they were originally. And then back here, we've kind of put them outside, so there's not much of anything going on in this tank at the moment. There's a few shrimp, and there's a few baby fish. There's one sick fish that's got a humpback, but these are the endlers that are the tiger endler, rainbow tiger endlers. And then we've got the haplochromis. Oh, they're sensitive. They're I don't know. They do their thing. And then in here, look at all these barbs, these African 9-banded barbs, looking super good. The one adult angel that I have left all alone, I probably will move the black metallic ones in with her soon, just to see how it goes. But I don't know the gender of the black ones. Also, the lizard cats are doing good, the whiptails, and so are all the gobies are doing really well. And then the pea puffers that have been in with the rainbow neon craycocks, they're dwarf neon rainbow fish. They've been getting along stellar, smashingly. So I'm happy about that everybody's getting along. In here, all the Danios are outside. So there's literally Pandagaras and 2 female bettas in there. So there's not really anything in there right now. And then the other really pretty fish that's in this sludge is the native sparkling sheep's head minnow. And he's hiding. But it's just a kind of like a killifish minnow type situation. And yeah, so that's what's going on. And then we'll do one more walk by through here. I'm not going to go out to the tubs tonight. Not a ton to see. Look at that lazy bum right there. But yeah, there's those orange Venezuelas quarries back over there again. And I just love the bloodfin glass tetras and the ember tetras together. They are like the same exact colors in the tail, and then the clarity in them is just really close. And then their organs just have this glow to them. And then the blue gouramis, which are my wife's choice, they all just kind of paired off well. It was just kind of fortuitous. Again, you can see the Bickford pencilfish are all colored up. Hopefully, I think they've probably laid eggs. They've probably also had their eggs eaten. But then again, the plecos in here, whatever's in their diet, I'm guessing it's the anthocyanins and the carotenoids in the plants, has made them extremely orange, which is really cool to see. And the last thing I was going to show you plant-wise was that, so I've got the Crypspiralis red and the Crypspiralis red variegated. So these are cryptocorin plants. Then we've got the tiger crypt bronze. Then we've got the red tiger back here, which almost looks more like, I don't know, wood grain than the tiger stripes. And then there is somewhere in here, oh, right here. Then there is, rather than just plain, this is another plant right next to the other one, which has the green variegation and the tiger striping, and it's red. So that's a red Crypspiralis tiger from Japan. Other than that, yeah, that's kind of the new stuff, the stuff that's going on. No real new species or anything. And then I've just been bouncing CO2 between here and here. I need a different diffuser for this much volume. We're really only giving CO2 to kind of this corner. We're not getting enough surface agitation. As you can see, it's barely at all. Okay, so let me turn all this around and let's get your Q&As going because I was behind on that. Let's get this turned around. Turn around. Do 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 do. All right, got it. Boom. Mic check. 1 2. Boom boom. All right. Get this set back up. Looks like I have no top on my head because this is flying off. All right. Okay. All right, guys. We're almost there. We're almost home. Okay. Turn around. Stop singing, Alex. Stop it. All right. So those are the tanks right now. Now you can see my sweaty face. I like this ring light thing because like if you had blown out pupils, it looks like you have like a white circle on your pupils. No one would ever know. Let me see if we can get this back up on the StreamYard thing. I want to make sure you guys can hear me good and everything. I only know about 10% of the words you just said, but I like your fish tanks. Okay, sweet. All right, now let me get you guys up in chat because StreamYard, the software I'm using right now, is just it's not bueno in the way it works, you know, chat and all that. So I want to make sure I didn't miss any super chats or anything like that too just recently. But also, let's get this put right in front here. Let me see how we can do all this, wrangle all this in the same spot so it doesn't look like I'm being super rude and not paying any attention to you guys. Okay, so now I can really see the chat and I know what's being said. Okay, so I have, okay, start with 2bet. It says, I'm going to start answering questions from here down. So if you have a question and I didn't answer it, please do the @Alex or @Secret History Living in Your Aquarium, and I will try my best to get to your question. But the past, it just flew past us. I don't know what to say. Okay, so hey, Aquaballs, what's going on, George? Good to see you, buddy. All right. Alex, I have something weird going on in my 20-gallon tall, white fiber-looking things. No idea what it is not alive. I might have to send you a video. Yes, send me a video or the Facebook group, and I bet someone will have an answer before I even do. Might be wrong. My answer might be wrong, but there'll probably be someone with an answer. It's odd, but I do wonder what that could be. The other thing I do wonder is where did I go? Oh, scared for a minute. All right. Pete, you like this new time slot that works for you down under? I know you're all alone down there in the bottom of the world. So if it makes you feel better, I want to do that for you. So I think we'll stick with it for now. And then the other time slot that I'll be at, just so you guys know, I think the plan is going to be Tuesdays will be at 4:30 p.m. LA time, so to speak, and kind of early evening for America. And then Fridays will be at 7:30 or 10:30 p.m. East Coast, which, sure, that's a later night, kind of prime time. And then other than that, we may do a random live stream or something like that here or there as we do. And as I'm more tempted to do for members, now that we have a good number of members, like I said, it's only $1.99, so it's pretty low barrier to entry. And so I like that you know, if I'm going out fishing and you guys are hanging out and you want to just come along or see what I was up to make the episode that comes out the next day or something like that, might be fun to do some more exclusive content kind of like that, because I feel bad if I don't teach meaningful, useful information about fish and plants and aquariums and chemistry. If I'm holding back on something useful or helpful, I just feel like that's ethically wrong, and so I don't want the barrier to be a cutoff of like, oh, these people get the good information. More so, I want it to be if you're interested in how the what's the word? How the pudding is made. You get more behind the scenes or more filming of pudding ingredients being assembled, I guess. It started with two bettas. Thank you so much. Welcome to the channel. So glad to have you. Also, I know lots of people have to, you know, come and go, take breaks, things like that. I do the same. My real goal is I'd love to have the channel be a $1.99 for everyone forever, and just based on numbers, have that support things. You know, I get I think $1.20. Wait, what is it? $1.20 before taxes from the $1.99 price. So having several hundred adds up to several $100s quickly. So it's a good thing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. YouTube, I think, keeps like a third of it, and then taxes keep another third of it. Pudding skin singles. What? I am so confused by y'all right now. All right. Any other questions going on? M and C Aquatics. Hey, hey. Let's see. Okay. All right. So, the other thing in my week, in my day, I was thinking, hey, our RB Animal Rescues, it's all good. I know some people want to be a member, can't afford it right now. Whatever, you're already a member of 3 or 4 other channels. I know how it goes. It's all good. I don't want anybody to feel guilty about that. I just want those of you knowing if you are supporting, then I really, really do appreciate it. So thanks. All right, let's see here. Looking for questions. Yeah, it could also be a freshwater sponge. It started with 2 bettas, or it could be a creature from the Black Lagoon. I mean, you never know. William Drillard, I like your thinking. So, Alex, any news on that ecology nonprofit stuff you talked about a while back? No. No, nothing's moved forward with that yet, but I am talking with people about that. I am looking into quote unquote fair trade plants out of Southeast Asia. I've been talking to Aquatic Arts about it. I've been talking to a few other independent investors and just existing nonprofits. So hopefully something comes of that eventually, but I'm kind of just putting feelers out, trying to lay the groundwork, get the word out that it's something I'm interested in accomplishing. But I'm looking for right now people on the ground in these places, people in Cambodia, Thailand, Laos, Borneo. You know, some of these places are pretty hard to get to where they harvest some of these plants. And we could work at the wholesaler level, but the whole point of what I wanted to do was avoid the wholesale trans-shipper nasty world of giant markups and buying things on pennies for the dollar from the locals. And I want to pay the native indigenous people of a region whose land it quote unquote is, or at least whose neighborhood, whose ecology is getting used. So the fact that they're using the fish from the river these people live on, to me, makes it more fair that they should get more money when they go out and catch it than some guy 500 miles away in a big capital city that's living a completely different type of life. I would love for there to be a fair trade, just like fair trade coffee and stuff. There to be a fair trade bucephalandra, cryptocrine in India, things like that certifies that, you know, I mean, obviously there's not slave labor, but there's very, very low wage labor that goes on. And then poaching is the main thing that we'd be fighting against. And then, you know, all of that does cost money, And like fair trade for fish, yeah, Richard, is the other thing I'd love too, which like Project Biaba kind of is, if you look into it. But just on a more holistic scale and outside of just the heart of the Amazon would be great. The other thing is I have recently reached out to, and the other thing I did with y'all's money, and boy, this was a rough one, but I did it. Is I bought the Ivan Mikoji beautiful art book stuff. Hold on, I'll show you guys. I did order the book, and it is really incredible and all that stuff. I haven't gotten it yet, but so I talked to Ivan Miko's. Let me just pull it up. I'll stop talking and just have something to show you. Ivan Mikoji, and he and I want to team up with ways to do some conservation. And he's an artist, a visual artist who paints as well. And so, that's something that speaks to me. He also does a lot of photography, which obviously I also enjoy, but he's, worlds apart from me, so much better. But he's got this book, and this book is $150. And I just paid, with shipping and tax and duty, $200 for a book, which I don't think I've ever done that for a new book. But I wanted to get a signed copy. And then the other thing is, I'm going to look at it and I'm going to honestly review it, obviously. But I happen to have been a follower of his work for years, so I know the review is probably going to be pretty much like, I love it, I love it, I love it. He's actually had a lot of his cinematography, videography shown on, Nat Geo Wild, Planet Earth, Blue Planet, things like that. A lot, pretty much if you see world-class BBC or Animal Planet or Discovery footage on the Orinoco Delta in Venezuela, which is maybe third or fourth most biodiverse area in the world, if you split that in the Amazon as two different areas, which some people do and some don't, then yeah, he's the one covering it, honestly. But he also does fine art, and then he donates the money towards conservation, which I think is a really neat way to do it. Now, the cool thing is his sister wrote me back, and she's based, I believe, in Miami. So I've got an email going with her, and I think what we're going to be able to do for you guys is get you guys 50 pages of full resolution PDF of this book, of the 300 pages. And you can check it out and just get it for free and see what it's about. Like, here we go. It's basically a picture of a fish and a biotope, a habitat, and then everything you could want to know about that fish that he's observed for years and years, decades of observation and work. But he's also agreed to come and do a Q&A on our show. So if you guys, I'll get you guys the code, which will be, I think it's 15% off the book if you do want it, which it's steep, it's pricey, it's $150, but it's kind of an art book. It's a coffee table, high gloss, high quality photography, half picture book. I'm trying to find some more pictures right now because it won't let me play the multimedia stuff, but it is just really impressive what he's come up with, and just showing you his wild aquariums. Him and I may be teaming up on some sort of project where we do yeah, Alishan, you paid $100 when he placed it on sale after the Zoom talk. Yeah, I know. I almost bought it then. I should have, but instead I just paid twice that. but he's gonna sign it, and it's hard to get something signed from Venezuela because he's got to get it. It's printed in the UK, good printing company, and then it's flown to Venezuela. He's signing it, and then it's getting flown to Miami, and then from his sister, it's getting flown to me. So yeah, it was a bit of finagling to figure out how that was going to work. But he's also known for these wild aquariums where he brings an actual aquarium out to nature, and he fills it with whatever is in that river right there, and uses that as the aquascape as well, and then photographs it so that way he gets a real representation when he's documenting the fish, if they're fish that don't necessarily stand still normally, or you have to catch in a trap. So yeah, but in any case, that should be fun. And that also leads me into what I was going to say about the immersed plant growth. I want to do a whole show live stream where we look at immersed plant photos and see what they look like when they're grown out of water or with just the roots underwater, because we have our aquascape competition coming up, obviously. So I hope y'all are working on that. I hope that you're having fun also, but I hope that's going on and in your minds. So yes, let's see here. The other thing is I'm hoping to get a hold of Heiko Blair. I mean, I have gotten a hold of him, but I'm hoping that he would come on the show and that we could talk about biotope aquariums. But really, I'd like to hear about his crazy stories of like smuggling fish and sneaking over borders in the 1970s and all these crazy things. So yeah, we'll see if we can get him on the show, though. It would be interesting. All right, Alan, thank you so much, buddy. You have a good night, brother. I appreciate you. Somehow a 99-cent super chat slipped through the cracks, and I can't tell who it is. Oh, it was RB Animal Rescue. Thank you so much. Again, appreciate it. And do we have any more questions, guys? I'm just here. Okay, now I've got the normal chat up again, and tonight was the first trial run of seeing how the new technology here is going to work out and all that. Hopefully we'll get a green screen set up at some point, so then we can show the videos. We can show or not the videos, we can show a video feed of inside, say, that aquarium in the background, full size, or we could bring up a plant or a picture or a topic. So I'm trying to make those changes, investments, and also learn that stuff. But right now, you guys, I'm trying to do 2 live streams with some information every week, and then also at least 2 videos, one fluffier one or straightforward, like here's the info, boom, 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 and then one more deep dive or kind of like swirling parts that are connected and may not be apparent, stories kind of thing. And I'm hoping that this format is working out for you guys. I'm hoping it's a little bit of something for everybody. The thing is, it's not high production value, like I said. And I do wonder if there is a preference of dropping one of those videos and every 2 weeks getting a video of whichever sort. For instance, the fluffy videos, or not that they're like frivolous, but 10 red fish that work well for the aquarium. If you'd like me to do something like that and get good B-roll and stuff like that, and then talk about the fish, it just takes more time to edit, to go through the footage and all that. Whereas when I'm just rolling and talking and we're vlogging, it's just boom, boom, boom. And I can relay the information just like we're sitting in a room together chatting. And I like that personal feeling, but at the same time, I want it to be approachable enough that maybe we can reel in some people who are on the periphery and not sure, just how fish nerd they want to go. So yeah. All right, let's see here. Alex, I wanted to know if you use aquarium salt. I don't use aquarium salt very often. If I do use it, it's always in a quarantine tank. It's in a container or a Tupperware or a jar or something, and it's usually just for injuries on the outside of fish or for fungus or bacterial infections as a follow-up, sometimes with ick too, but usually the ick doesn't need it, just temperature will do it. And yes, it will definitely harm plants, shrimp, and snails if you just dump salt in your tank. You have to know that everything in your tank is going to be salt tolerant. And plants are, they can handle salt, but they can't handle salt water or brackish water all of a sudden across the board. That's just not how it's not their bag, baby. I realized that the angle of this little tripod has made my eyes look kind of like this the whole time. So that's probably a little bit better. Do I look more honest, guys? Buy my product. We're sorry. Sorry. All right. Hey, Pete, thank you so much. Aquarium Plant Man with the 99 cents. Bing! Appreciate that. Rico, you have a wonderful evening. I hope you have a great day. My country fascinates you and terrifies you at the same time, huh, Richard? Well, yeah, I'm right there with you. Who knows? America's a weird place. It's a wonderful place. It's a huge place. I'm planning to head into the wilderness to see some Darlingtonia Californica this weekend. Do you have any carnivorous plants? I don't really right now. I mean, I think I got a Venus flytrap and I've got some bladderwort, but no, I had some pitcher plants at one point and some, what are they called? I wanted to call them honeydews, but that's not what they're called, is it? Sundews. And there's a whole bunch of sundews in Washington State that occur only in this one mountain range, very specific, kind of hard to get to spot. It's really interesting. And I actually have an interview on file somewhere in probably my old phone. It's from 2017 or 18. And it is a neighbor I had who is the world's most or foremost breeder of sundews. And he had an entire yard, like a quarter acre of every kind you could ever imagine, color-wise, morph-wise, height, organized by the stubby, like round ones versus super tall ones, purple ones, blue ones, furry ones, non-furry ones, drought-tolerant ones, you name it. And he had them all microchipped with RFID chips so that he had a wand, and when he walked through his yard, his iPhone had all the info. So maybe that's an interview I should dig up. I never found it. I never found a pertinent place to drop that interview in, and there wasn't any wrap up or conclusion or anything with it. It was kind of just straight footage that he's like, sure, you can film while we do this, rather than, yes, I'm going to stop and talk to you kind of thing. At Secret History, Living in Your Aquarium, Achilles earlier, do you know what TDS, the pan checks or blue glare should be at? The TDS should usually be pretty low from what I understand, specifically with the pan checks, the fungulatus, fungulata checks? Is that what it's called? The fungulate? Whatever, you know the Latin name. It doesn't matter. You and I know the Latin name. I mean, you and I understand the fish we're talking about, the blue glares. But from what I understand, you want it acidic. You can have it slightly acidic or slightly basic. You don't want super high tannins, but you do want you don't want just like distilled water. You want basically some leaf litter that's a little bit in water that has a teeny bit of minerality. From what I understand, it's from flooded jungle forest floors in Africa, and there's limestone. There's other things that cause the TDS and the pH and the KH and GH to be higher than just neutral or nothing, in that there's millions of years of shells that were crushed and they became the ocean floor. Well, that then became rock, became siltstone, limestone, and then that limestone forms mountain ranges, caves, caverns, and the water drips through this in the jungle there. So you've got some calcium and some carbon coming off that limestone, as well as probably, you know, manganese and sulfur and a few other things. But you then also have the acidity of all those leaves falling into a river or jungle, when you're thinking that the jungles there are 200 feet tall, the canopies, you know, something like, I don't know, 80, is that right? No, something like 60, I don't know, 60 or 70 meter tall trees. Um, and maybe not quite that tall, 50. Let's go with 50 meters. And then layers of vines and leaves. So they're in a very dark area, very humid area, and then also a lot of that earth has vines and roots and things. So it's a humic soil, as they call it. And so if you can get some hummus, just some garbanzo beans, mash that up, throw it in with your fish. No, don't do that. But if you can get some peat moss or that stringy ground that's made up of old bark and plant material, stuff like that, that you can buy for like a reptile enclosure, that or soaked peat moss also can work. A little bit of that could help add your acidity to get it slightly acidic, like 6.5 maybe. And then the TDS with your tap water there, I just wouldn't worry about. Although if you've got your RO unit running, then I would just add a little bit, like get your KH to like 5 or something like that, you know. Don't even stress general hardness really, because your KH will kind of dictate everything else. And as long as you have a little bit of KH, then you'll buffer that. And so the acidity will actually cause, well, it can cause it to be uneven. It can cause it to swing unless you've got the calcium in there to buffer it. So hopefully you've got that and it all works out. Also, Alan gave me, oh wait, Pete, how many super chats did you send? I'm so confused, but thank you so much. Interesting. I just realized how that it didn't show up in StreamYard, but now that I'm looking at the laptop, it's like ba-ding, 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 ba-ding. So thank you kindly, everybody. Appreciate it, and Pete in particular there. All right. Also, by the way, Manes, Tails, Fur, and Fins, Jess has a channel, and in the mornings on the weekdays, her and Rocco are going to be doing kind of a rundown of what's going on in the fish fam world. Kind of like JH Aquatics used to do fish family news, but she'll have events and also kind of a guest panelist or person on the show. I don't know if that's necessarily like an all the time thing, but some of the time. And it sounds like it's going to be interesting. Jess is a sweetheart. I've always gotten along with her well, and she's always been so supportive. So I just wanted to mention that also. And if you have something going on, if you're doing an event, if your club is up to something, or you're organizing a meetup somewhere, or you have a channel and you're doing a giveaway or some sort of thing that's just a little bit more out there than your normal schedule, definitely check out Manes, Tails, Fins, and Fur, and meet Jess. All right, guys. Preston John says, Alex, I don't know which is smaller. I think they Cataranda formosa, probably. Just because that's the one I always hear the name dropped of as smaller, like in reference to everything, and that's the males. Now, if you average a male and a female, the females can get pretty swollen. Their bellies look like a pea or a round, but they're not as big as a pea, but they get really round with babies. And then every few weeks, they redo that. So, right on, Cerulia, you're putting carnivorous plants into your aquascape entry. That is rad. I'm excited to see that. Excited, excited. Oh, audio dropped again. Can you hear me now? Okay, you can hear me, but it sounds weird. Okay. What about now? All right, I'm just gonna say we're gonna end it here because the gremlins are coming out. So we'll try to figure this out, and hopefully I can square it away. Yeah, I don't know why it sounds like a tin can, but we'll figure it out. I'm still new to all this technology. But thank you guys so much tonight for hanging out, for asking questions, for doing what it is we do here. So if you have any more questions in the comments, go to town. And, I just appreciate it so much that you guys decide to spend your evening and some time with me. So thank you. And your questions are always so appreciated. They get my mind going. They get me thinking about stuff, and they teach me a lot. So, thanks. Take care of your critters, your plants, and the people around you. And then, of course, take care of yourself, because if you don't do that, you can't do the other stuff. And, that's what's going to make the world go around and make the world a better place. So thank you so much, for the super chats, for you guys being members, for you guys watching, sharing, liking. Doesn't have to be money that you guys support the channel with. Just watching you guys means so much to me. And I hope everybody has a safe and fun 4th of July and weekend, or Canada Day already happened, I think. Or is that the 3rd? I can't remember. But in any case, have a good next few days, guys, and I will talk to y'all in the comments, I'm sure, very soon. And hopefully tomorrow I will catch some fish, and we'll have some new stuff to show off on the channel, as well as finish up part 2 of the bog episode. And if you get a chance, check out the red tide episode I did. It's a little odd and dry, but it's amazing that because of cyanobacteria and essentially dinoflagellates, all the oxygen that exists in our atmosphere was created, and it killed all life on Earth that couldn't live in in oxygenated environments, which is life now. Most life does live that way now. 2 billion years ago. So totally reshaped the world and allowed us to evolve. Yet now it's this toxic thing that we battle with. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Don't want to run super late over the times and things. So I will talk to you later. Thanks again. And thank you so much, mods, lurkers, and everybody here. All right. Bye, guys.